Hello everyone, this is Ming Jong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 E-minis futures. That's for the session of 21st of July. So in this video, I am going to show you the market recap on the last session, plus a trade review in the M3 timeframe, which I will include the entry, exits, and the rationale behind. And that trade actually happened from the London session, and I actually hold through the US session as well. And that is one of my favorite day trading trade setup, and with a high winning rate. And going forward, I will cover the bias, the key levels to pay attention to, and also the potential setup for the session later. All right, so let's just get started. So as you can see in this chart, the S&P 500 finally broke out the swing high resistance at 3230 yesterday. So this is great. So this is 3230, and that's the swing high level that we have been talking about for many weeks. So finally, it just broke out yesterday here, and with a bit of the increasing of the volume, so which is not too shabby. So let me just get down to the H1 time frame. Okay, just before I do that, maybe I will just elaborate a bit more here, or just remind this is the absorption area, and finally, just after the completion of the absorption activity, then we have this kind of the breakout here. All right. So let me get down to the H1 time frame, and we can have a clearer look here. So you can see that just prior to the US session, we have the reaction here. That's the, I think, Asian session. Subsequently, we have kind of like consolidate horizontally and with a spring type action here. So this is a spring type action where it actually temporarily commit below the swing low level here, and also a test of the swing low in the past few days. So you can see that just after it actually kind of like performed this kind of the spring type action, S&P 500 just have a nice rally up, consolidation, and during the US opening session, which is here 9:30 my time, and it's kind of like consolidate a little bit here, and subsequently just take off. So which is a very trendy day. You can see that I have marked up my trade here. So I actually enter my trade during the London session. You can see that we have kind of like a doji bar here. Let me just circle this. So that is kind of like a doji bar, and subsequently just a breakout from this downtrend line. I think it will be a lot clearer once we are in the M3 time frame. But you can see that just in this H1 time frame, on this larger time frame, you can see that it's kind of like a spring or a test of this prior swing low. So we have a swing low here, and this is the previous day low, which I actually mark up in the blue line, the orange line here. So it's kind of like definitely a spring type action here. And let me get down to the M3 time frame. Okay, delete this. Okay, so let me scroll back to where the trade actually happened. So this is one of my favorite trade setup. I will elaborate a bit more here. Why would I say my favorite setup? Firstly, you can see that it actually tested the prior day low. So this is the prior day low here. I actually mark up in the orange line here. And also, not only it tested here, but it just broke down here. It broke below the previous day low, and subsequently actually kind of like tested the 2 days or 3 days swing low as highlighted or as annotated in this pink line here. So this kind of the spring type action is actually one of my favorite trade setup for the day trading. And just because that you think about here, so this is just a test. So in a morning session, this is kind of like just a test here. So a test, it didn't really actually commit below or break below. You can see that we never have a close below this line here. But right here is different. So in the afternoon session, about 2 o'clock my time here, we saw a breakdown here, and that comes with volume. And that actually makes sense because a lot of the breakout trader like to trade this kind of the setup, like breakdown. So they go short at this point after the close of the candle because it's actually broke down the previous day low. So I mean, this is quite a valid setup anyway. And subsequently, you can see that we have a rally up, and also we have another breakdown here. So I think this is kind of like great because from here, if the trader just still hold on the short, they might think that okay, so this is kind of like a real breakdown. We see this kind of the big bearish bar here, and also increase of the supply level. But you can see that just after these two dip below, we didn't really have any kind of the follow through to the downside. Instead, it kind of like have this big bullish bar here. So this is one of the important component here. So first, I would like to see this kind of the breakdown. So they actually attract quite a lot of the breakout trader to come in to short. And subsequently, this is the first time that we have seen this kind of the quality demand. So just think of it like this. So we have this kind of the bearish commitment to the downside. Not only actually broke below the previous day low here as annotated in the orange line, it also broke below this prior swing low. And look at the close here. It's just, I think, right at the bottom of this bar here. So this is very bearish. And you see that we have seen the pickup of the volume, the supply levels be picking up. But look at what happened. So the next bar, we actually have the dip below and eventually got some demand come in, and we closed near the high level here. So this is definitely some kind of the quality demand to support the market, and actually just dip below the this is a swing low from the, I think, past 2 or 3 days, and eventually just close above. So this is the first sign, the first bullish sign that we have ever seen, because we never seen this kind of the demand and with this kind of the bullish bar before. So you can check, even this bar is not like this bullish bar here. So this is the first sign, and subsequently we have another dip down here as a test of this prior swing low, and eventually we have this kind of the best rally, and you actually just commit above this previous day low here. So this rally up is actually the best that we have ever seen before. I think just compare this rally or even this rally or even this rally. So this is the best rally that we have ever seen. So this is the second change. So first change is this bar. This is the second change of the up wave that we have ever seen. It's the largest up wave that we have ever seen. And the third change is definitely this consolidation here. So every time you have this kind of the rally up, then you see immediate sell down, rally up, immediate sell down, rally up, no immediate sell down. So in fact, what we have is a reaction with this kind of the horizontal consolidation rather than this kind of the sell down, sell down, sell down. So this is definitely different. So this is the third change. So you see how I actually derive the change or detect the change throughout this structure here. So in order to get a confirmation, I just wait for this bar here. So this is the bar I enter long here. So you can see that this is a bullish bar, just a breakout of this little range here. So this is the confirmation that I got out to just give me a signal to go long, and with the stop loss just maybe I think a few points below this low here. So you can see that subsequently it actually took off. This trade actually took off, and my first exit, I actually scale off this trade just before the US market opens. Okay, so you can see that this is the US opening time zone, 9:30 my time. So just before that, I exited partial of my trade, scale out. So why did I exit? So firstly, so this is actually my target here. So I actually exited right at this supply zone here. There's the start of the selling, and I scale out a bit, and I actually move my stop just below this swing low here. So definitely this become a risk-free trade for me. And subsequently, you can see that at the US opening session, we have kind of a reaction here, a bit volatile, but it's just at this portion here. And eventually I just exited here, and that's by scaling my the trailing my stop here somewhere around there, and then I just got stop out here and lock in my profits. So it's about 3.4 and maybe 2.2 somewhere around there. So definitely a nice reward to risk ratio. And I think during the US session, there is a possible trade as well. But I think in this case, the only downside of this trade is that it didn't really happen at the level that I prefer, because if you recall in my previous video or my videos yesterday, I do talk about potential long entry after a test of 3180 or even the day low here. So it's definitely not happen to my anticipated levels, but just based on the price action alone, I think this is definitely that can become a good trade. Definitely is a kind of the setup, just not in my preferred level. So firstly, this is the opening session. And you can see that we have kind of like a spike of the supply. This is definitely higher than the normal volume. But look at what happened. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay. So you can see that we have a lot of the demand tail despite the spike of the supply level. That's demand tail, demand tail, demand tail, demand tail, demand throughout. So pretty much this area here has a lot of the demand tail, and with this kind of the increase of the volume, so it actually suggested to me there are some kind of the demand come in. So in order to wait for the confirmation, definitely you need to wait for this kind of the bar to take out the previous few bars. So I think this is a possible trade after the close of this bar here, and maybe with a stop just below here or even a bit lower. And you definitely can write to this trade here, the trend here. So I think this is one of the possible trade here. But my trade was actually opened during the London session and hold it through until here, exited, got stop out here. But anyway, that's the trade review, and this kind of the setup actually provide quite a high winning rate. So I mean the rationale behind this kind of the setup is based on a spring type action, because quite a lot of the time you think about the people on the other side. So let's assume that you are a breakout trader, you like to trade breakout. So after the close of this bar or even this bar, then definitely you see bullish, the bearish bar here, and also this kind of the bearish close, bearish bar with increasing of the volume, and break below the prior or the previous day low here. So definitely a lot of people go short. And when they shorted, and when the price recover, come back, and they got stopped out. So this is one of the some of the goods or some of the preferred setup for me, because with this kind of the traders inside, then it will actually propel the trades up. And another thing is that you can see that with this kind of the break below, then with no continuation to the downside, it actually means that the short interest actually is not as high as we would like to see or we would like to imagine. So these are the few reasons that I actually prefer this kind of the spring type setup. And it actually happen quite frequently. Almost every day you can find this kind of the opportunities, either spring or uptrust. All right, so let me just get down to the H1 time frame and to talk about what's happening now. So far, I think we are still bullish. Nothing has changed here. We didn't really see any threatening supply level. Supply has been going down, and during the breakup, we see some kind of the demand pickup, actually break up. And we have seen the supply absorption here, and then absorption here as well. For the immediate resistance level, since we have already broken up, I think what we are looking at is the level at around 3300, 3310. I did mark up here. So you can see that there was a gap level here. So there's 3300. So if I zoom out a little bit, you can see that. So here is the gap here. So I think this gap could provide some kind of the resistance here. Okay, so that's the gap level that corresponds to around 3300 or 3310. So the gap area could provide some kind of the resistance. So this is the level that we will be watching. And if we can just break above, then definitely is an all-time high level here, about 3400. Okay, so for immediate support level, definitely is the support, the resistance turn support level at around 3230. So that is a pretty textbook style level to watch, 3230. And I mean, and also this 3170, this the support level as well. And yeah, so this is pretty much it. And for the potential setup that I'm looking at for the later session, definitely I think still bullish. Definitely probably no age to buy it here. I'm actually waiting for a test of this last hour bar here, where we see some kind of the spike of the volume. So you can see that we do have a small level here where this is a resistance level, and we see that the candle actually got rejected 1 times, 2 times, and if you can just come back and test it this level, that could be become a good long entry. And if it just go a bit deep down, then it's possible as well. So anything in between 3235 here to about 3250, just a test of this area with a reversal signal, then that could become my long entry. All right, so this is pretty much it, the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it and get something out from my video. If you like it, just click like and also hover it to my name or picture to follow me. And do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification of my future video ideas. As usual, if you have any kind of the comments, suggestion, questions, or trade ideas you'd like me to have a look or share with me, feel free to comment it below. I will definitely reply to you. And thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.